Good morning. Happy April 20th. It is the beginning of the new marking period, and it looks like we'll have at least 4 weeks of online instruction. So every Monday, you could expect that we'll put up all of the materials for the whole week, and then you can do them whatever time is good for you. Just be sure to listen carefully and to read carefully all of the instructions. We're starting a new unit called Speculative Fiction. And you're going to be learning about what that is and different kinds of speculative fiction in this unit. There is this slideshow, which is also attached on Google Classroom. And you also have a paper, not a paper, but a document that is a note taker. I have mine in front of me so I can look at it as I'm going through this slideshow. You're going to be filling in the blanks on your note taker as we go through this slideshow here on Monday. So for this week, you're going to be completing the notes on the note taker, and then you're going to be doing 2 free writes. A free write is just answering questions the best way that you can in paragraph form. This page says, choose one of your free writes to polish and submit as a final reflection, but you'll be submitting both of yours, so you're going to want to polish both of them. As we go through this slideshow, your job is to complete the note taker. As you read through the slides, you'll find new information, and you're going to be using the blue words on the slides to fill in the blanks on your student assignment document. I printed mine, like I said, and everywhere it says fill in the blank, I would change that to have the right words that will be written in blue on these slides. So let's get started. You're going to want to open your note taker as we go through this slideshow. What is speculative fiction? To speculate means to ask, what if? Now, as an aside here, on your note taker, the first thing says, to speculate means to ask, and then there's a fill in the blank. So you're going to write the words, what if, where it says fill in the blank. To speculate means to ask, what if? Speculative fiction takes our existing world and changes it by asking, what if? What if time travel was real? What if aliens came to visit the Earth? What if ghosts are trying to hunt humans? It's asking, what if? Speculative fiction is any fictional story in which the rules of that world are different than the rules of our current society. Authors change these rules and then speculate on the outcome. These stories offer an escape from our current reality, but call the reader to compare the problems in the story to the problems in our world today. In these stories, authors often make an observation about our society and or provide a warning about the future. So what are the types of speculative fiction? Typically, speculative fiction fits into the following categories: horror, fantasy, science fiction, historical. There can be overlap. Speculative fiction, that is horror. Horror story elements can include elements of evil, something considered objectively immoral, bad, or wrong, an evil person, creature, or technology. Suspense and foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is clues that something is coming. Suspense is the idea that you do not know exactly what is coming. The combination of these two creates fear for the reader or the audience. There are often in horror fiction connections to death. Examples could be murder or ghosts or zombies. Some examples of horror movies that you may have seen: Bird Box, A Quiet Place, Us. The second type of speculative fiction is fantasy. Fantastical story elements can include magic. Examples: characters or creatures with superpowers, witches, wizards, sorcerers, fairies, elves, etc. Fantasy will usually have a setting that is completely different from our current world. For example, a new time period, a new country or planet or galaxy. Fantasy will sometimes have connections to the supernatural. Examples: ghosts, zombies, vampires, werewolves, some kind of new species. Some examples of fiction that you may have seen, some fantasy, are Game of Thrones, Beauty and the Beast, Naruto, Harry Potter. The next type of speculative fiction is science fiction. Science fiction story elements can include new science and technologies. Examples: communication with aliens, mutants, artificial intelligence, which is sometimes just called AI, technologies and inventions that improve and advance travel, weaponry, animal, planet life, human life, etc. Science fiction also has a setting that is completely different from our current world. It could have traveled to a new time period, perhaps in the future, planet to a new planet, travel to a new galaxy, made possible by science and technology. Modern examples of science fiction you may have seen include The Matrix, the Star Wars series, Ex Machina, or Back to the Future. And that brings us to the end of our slideshow. Remember, you can play this video as many times as you need to in order to fill out your note taker. At the end of the note taker is a personal reflection question for you to type as well. All right, I hope you enjoyed the slideshow.